All right, let's be honest. For the past few weeks, it's been pretty clear who the Bachelorette has had her eye on. And after living it up in Thailand, she broke yet another heart, leaving her with the final two. And here with a recap of all the cricket crunching and river exploring is Leslie from 106.3 The Groove.
Yeah.
Fun episode last night.
It was a fun episode.
In Thailand. It looks beautiful.
Beautiful.
I love how she said everywhere smelled delicious there, but I'm sure there are some places that, just like anywhere, like you go to New York,
sure.
Not every place smells good there.
No.
So anyway, who gets the first date there in Thailand?
My guy, Blake.
Your guy.
Blake gets the Blake gets the first one on. Now these are the overnight dates.
Yeah.
Or hopefully these will be the overnight dates, right? Blake is head over heels in love with her, and she has said, not to him but to us, she's very much in love with him as well. And I thought this was really cool what they did. So they went on a hike, but because it's sacred ground and they were going to a sacred temple, you're not allowed to touch or kiss. And I thought that was kind of cool because I think that you actually have to then talk and get to know each other better without the physical contact, which I thought was really good. So they get to the temple and they get relationship advice from a monk. And which I thought was really cool. You could see Blake's face. He took it very seriously. And I mean, he loves her and she loves him, so she very much admitted to us about.
Well, and I was watching this and I thought to myself, this is one of the best segments I've seen on this show, actually. It was very serious, very spiritual, and it actually, I think, accomplished what it set out to do. Now, of course, Blake, being Blake, he's kind of always in his head.
He gets in his head. You can kind of see it, too. You know, he has no doubts about how he feels. But his biggest fear, and I think it's a valid point, he doesn't know how she feels about the other guys. Is she more in love with the other guys than she is with him? He can't necessarily see that, but he's in his head. And the good thing is they talk about that. He talks about that's his fear. But she asks him, are you freaked out about in a week and a half, we could be together? And he's like, no, immediately was like, no, I have reasons why to stay, not to run away.
I loved that part.
I love that he said that.
It was a very sweet.
She gives him the date card. They stay overnight together. And the next morning, he actually wakes up saying he's more in love with her, which freaks him out. You can tell immediately he's in his head because he's like, I didn't think it was possible for me to love her more than I do, and now I do. And he's freaked out because this could be the one and only time that he wakes up with her there with him.
You know what, though? They woke up, I didn't see that glow. In this footage that we're watching here, I didn't see that they had the glow at all. And you know, they say that these fantasy suites, sometimes they're intimate. We don't really know the answer to that question. But I don't think they were. If I had to guess, I don't think they were. I think that something stopped them from going to that level.
We'll see, I guess.
I guess we will have to see.
So now Jason's up next, okay? So Jason and her decide to explore Thailand and the culture, including trying out some of the food. Good for them. I mean, Jason was a total sport for it, and it says they come up on crickets that they're selling for food, and they're like, you know what? Let's eat the crickets.
Would you eat the crickets?
No.
I would. No. I have and I would.
I am not like an adventurous person when it comes to food, so no.
Good source of fiber and protein.
But as we're on this date, it's a little weird because she makes a comment about the future. And right away, something changes in her, and you don't realize the date's kind of over, the day part date, because she starts to freak out and realizes when she says something about the future, she suddenly is hit with she cannot see him in that future of hers. And she doesn't know what to do. She's really freaked out. This guy is an amazing guy. What do I do? But she goes, you know what? I owe it to him and our relationship that we've built so far to kind of see, but it's really bothering her.
Well, you know what that was? It was her gut telling her that this wasn't the right choice. And even just watching them at times, I found that their energy as partners just didn't match. There was something completely off from a long time ago, honestly.
Here you've got this clueless guy who's talking about how she can be his life partner. He's never felt this way about anyone before. So this is all new to him. He doesn't know anything's wrong. So we go into dinner and they start talking. Again, this feeling is in her head. And he talks about loving her, and she's like, "Can you give me a minute?" Talk about awkward.
I know, she did that with
the last
Colton.
the last thing you want to hear is someone say, "I love you." Can you give me a moment?
Oh, God, I know.
So unfortunately, she comes back and says, "Look, I can't see the future with you. It's not fair for me to invite you to an overnight date when I know this is going to work. I'm falling in love with you, but I'm in love with the other two guys that are here." And he puts up a very nice fight. I mean, he's just like, "Isn't it worth giving it a shot?" takes
But
it
why
very
put up
well.
a fight? I'm like, you already know the answer. She's not going to be convinced. She said it's not 100% there.
You got to try.
I guess. But then if she says yes, then you feel like you kind of had to convince her. I don't know.
But the thing is though, she's really upset about this because she now feels, she knows she blindsided him and feels, oh my gosh, I did to him what Ari did to me. I don't think it was that extreme.
No, that was irrational because.
But I think it was because he had no idea that, and she didn't indicate anything until it suddenly hit her there that he wasn't the one for her. So yeah, that was really tough to watch.
Well, I mean, someone had to be part of the top 3, right?
I commend her for sending him home early instead of torturing him through everything.
Yeah.
So now we're up to Garrett,
who's my favorite. I know you like Blake. I want Garrett to win. For many reasons. We'll talk about that in a second, but go ahead.
So Garrett and her go on a bamboo raft through the river.
Yeah.
And they have a fun time. It turns out it was a national holiday, so it's a big party atmosphere. They thought it was going to be this nice romantic little, raft ride down the river, and instead it's this huge party, which is fun. But they have a great time. Going into dinner, though, she just worries that he's taking this seriously. He has not quite told her he's in love with her, and if he's ready to commit to get married. He's been married before, and he's a little gun shy about that, and that concerns her. So they talk about that at dinner, and he actually says he's never been so genuinely happy in his life. He is ready. He said, I came in here with cold feet, and as I got to know you and like my feelings grew, the fear went up because he's just like, now I'm head over heels for this girl. What if she breaks my heart? Which she still could, even though I know you don't think so. But he, again, says he loves her more than his ex, which was like, I'm like, I don't know if I would have quite said that.
No, don't go that far.
Don't talk about the ex. But like he almost is emotional about it, and so she gives him the overnight date card, which of course he is like, yeah,
of course. Why would he say no to that?
And
they wake up with that glow.
I saw the glow. I saw what you're talking about.
It's clear that they had a connection.
I noticed she has barely any makeup on there, but she did have makeup on.
She did a whole lot on the last one.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if maybe we missed a lot that they didn't show with Blake.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, if she ends up with Garrett in the long run, I feel he'll be more of a stable partner than Blake. Would you concede that? Blake is very emotional.
See, my problem is I've heard some things about Blake, and once that seeds have been planted in my head, I can't get past that. So I'm like, nope, it's got to be Blake.
It's got to be Blake. Okay.
But I honestly have no idea where she is because they both, she has strong feelings for both of them. And you can tell they're both head over heels for her. She's head over heels for them. So I don't know what's going to happen.
So they did a good job with this season because we're going into it not at all knowing what she's thinking. But someone comes back. She sent Jason home, but
Jason comes back, and you know what he said? Look, I wasn't coming back here to say I want you back type of thing. I knew that wasn't going to happen, but he felt like the door wasn't closed properly. He really didn't get to find out why. Closure. He needed that, and he got it from her, and then he gives her a gift, and it's a book of their story.
Scrap memories.
I mean, he obviously had it.
Yeah.
He had made that. I thought that was so. Talk about wrenching your heart out again.
Well, it's still a nice memory. They had some nice moments together, and here they are. It just didn't work out. And then real quick before we go, the final rose ceremony. What does she do? What we thought she was going to do.
Garrett gets the first one, and then Blake gets the second. But by the way, is the new Bachelor already picked?
You think so?
Jason?
Could it be Jason?
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
We were thinking Colton maybe, but I know he's going to be in Bachelor in Paradise.
I think it might be Jason.
It might be Jason. Well, I think that would be interesting. He's an eligible Bachelor for sure. Can't wait to see what happens. Men Tell All is coming up next week. Can't wait to see that.
That'll be fun.
Leslie, as always, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Becca is close to picking her husband. Just watch the next episode of The Bachelorette, airing next Monday on KGUN 9 at 7. That'll be the Men Tell All. Then tune in to The Blend on Tuesday for a full recap of that. Be sure to visit 1063thegroove.com to read Leslie's blog.